Picture this. You're sitting on a weathered wooden porch, watching the morning mist roll across endless fields of golden wheat. The air is crisp and clean, filled with the scent of pine and wildflowers. Your hands wrap around a steaming cup of coffee as the first rays of sunlight filter through towering oak trees. This is where we're going today. Welcome to a world where time moves differently, where the only soundtrack you need comes from creaking floorboards, chirping birds, and the gentle strum of an acoustic guitar echoing from somewhere deep in the countryside. I'm taking you on a journey to that place we all dream about when city life becomes too much. That cabin in the woods, that simpler existence, that peaceful retreat where your soul can finally breathe again. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another relaxing video? Another attempt to capture that elusive feeling of true peace? But here's the thing. This isn't just about pretty visuals or background noise. This is about understanding something deeper, something that connects us to our roots, to the land, to a way of life that's been calling our names for generations. You see, there's a reason why country music and cabin dreams go hand in hand. It's not just nostalgia. It's not just marketing. There's something primal, something essential about the combination of acoustic melodies and rustic living that speaks to who we really are underneath all the noise and chaos of modern existence. Think about it for a moment. When was the last time you sat in complete silence? When did you last hear nothing but the wind through the trees and maybe a distant train whistle? For most of us, that moment is so rare it's almost mythical. But that's exactly what makes it so powerful. That's exactly why we crave it so desperately. The beauty of country acoustic music lies in its simplicity. No synthesizers, no auto-tune, no elaborate production tricks, just wood and steel strings, human voices, and stories that matter. Stories about love and loss, about hard work and simple pleasures, about finding meaning in the everyday moments that city dwellers rush past without noticing. And when you pair that music with the visual of a cabin nestled among towering pines, something magical happens. Your breathing slows down, your shoulders relax. That constant tension you carry in your jaw starts to melt away. It's like your body remembers something your mind has forgotten. It remembers what peace actually feels like. But let's be honest about something. This isn't just about escapism. Sure, we all need to escape sometimes. We all need that mental vacation from deadlines and traffic jams and the endless ping of notifications. But what we're really searching for is something more permanent, something we can carry with us, even when we can't physically be in that cabin by the lake. Here's what I've discovered after years of chasing that perfect moment of tranquility. The cabin isn't really about the location. The peace isn't really about the silence. It's about finding a way to slow down, to be present, to connect with something larger than our immediate worries and responsibilities. When you listen to a perfectly finger-picked guitar melody floating over the sound of a crackling fire, you're not just hearing music. You're hearing an invitation to remember that life doesn't have to be a constant rush toward the next thing. An invitation to savor the moment you're actually living right now. The acoustic guitar has this incredible ability to cut through all the complexity and get straight to the heart of things. Each note rings clear and true, without any digital enhancement or artificial amplification. It's honest music. Music that can't hide behind fancy production or clever marketing. Either it moves you or it doesn't. Either it speaks to something real inside you or it falls flat. That honesty is what makes country acoustic music the perfect soundtrack for cabin dreams. Because cabin dreams are honest dreams too. They're not about showing off or impressing anyone. They're about finding a place where you can be completely yourself, where you can breathe deeply and think clearly and remember what actually matters. Imagine waking up in a place where your biggest decision is whether to have your morning coffee on the front porch or the back deck, where the most urgent sound you hear is a woodpecker working on a distant tree, where you can see actual stars at night, not just the faint glow of light pollution that passes for a night sky in most places. This isn't just fantasy. This isn't just some romanticized version of rural life that ignores the realities of modern existence. This is about understanding that there's another way to live, a slower way, a more intentional way, a way that prioritizes connection over productivity, presence over progress, being over doing. The cabin represents something we've lost in our rush toward technological advancement and urban efficiency. It represents the radical idea that maybe we don't need to be constantly connected, constantly productive, constantly moving toward the next goal or achievement. Maybe sometimes the most revolutionary thing we can do is simply sit still and listen. Listen to the wind. Listen to the birds. Listen to the gentle finger-picking of a guitar that's been worn smooth by countless hours of playing. Listen to the voice inside you that's been trying to get your attention for months or years. The voice that's been whispering about slowing down, about finding a different rhythm, about discovering what peace actually feels like. Country acoustic music gives us permission to listen to that voice. It creates a sonic environment where introspection isn't just possible, it's inevitable, where the space between the notes is just as important as the notes themselves, where silence isn't empty, it's full of possibility. And when you combine that music with the visual of a rustic cabin, complete with smoke curling from the chimney and a rocking chair on the porch, you're not just creating atmosphere. You're creating a portal, a doorway to a different way of being in the world. But here's where it gets really interesting. You don't actually need the cabin to access this feeling. You don't need to pack up your life and move to the mountains, though that certainly wouldn't hurt. What you need is the willingness to slow down wherever you are. You can create that cabin feeling in a studio apartment by lighting a candle and putting on the right music. You can find that country peace in the middle of a bustling city by choosing to breathe deeply and listen intentionally. You can access those acoustic vibes anywhere you have the courage to turn off the noise and tune into something deeper. The secret isn't in the location, it's in the listening. It's in the choice to prioritize presence over productivity, even if it's just for 20 minutes at a time. It's in the decision to value simplicity over complexity, even when the world around you is pulling in the opposite direction. Think about the last time you heard a truly beautiful acoustic guitar melody. not as background music while you were doing something else, but really heard it. Really let it wash over you and change the way you were feeling in that moment. That's the power we're talking about. That's the medicine we all need more of. Country acoustic music doesn't demand your attention the way other genres do. It doesn't assault your senses or overwhelm your emotions. Instead, it invites you in. It creates space for you to bring your own experiences, your own longings, your own dreams of a simpler life. It becomes a companion rather than a distraction. And that companionship is exactly what makes cabin dreams so appealing. The idea of having a place where you belong completely, where you can be utterly yourself without apology or explanation, where the rhythm of your days matches the rhythm of your heart instead of fighting against it constantly. Picture yourself chopping wood for the evening fire, not because you have to, but because the repetitive motion feels good in your hands. Because the physical work connects you to something primal and satisfying. Because there's something deeply meaningful about preparing your own warmth, your own comfort, with your own effort. Or imagine sitting by a window as rain patters against the glass, watching the storm roll across the valley, while a gentle finger-picked melody provides the perfect soundtrack. No urgent emails to answer, no meetings to attend, no deadlines pressing against your consciousness, just you and the weather and the music and the profound luxury of having nowhere else to be. This is what country acoustic vibes offer us. Not just entertainment, but transformation. Not just sound, but sanctuary. Not just music, but medicine for souls that have forgotten how to rest. The cabin dream isn't really about escaping civilization. It's about reconnecting with the parts of ourselves that civilization sometimes makes us forget. The part that finds joy in simple pleasures. The part that can sit quietly without feeling guilty about productivity. The part that remembers how to be amazed by a sunset or a perfectly brewed cup of coffee. When acoustic guitar strings vibrate in that particular way, creating those warm, woody tones that seem to come from the earth itself, they're not just making sound. They're making space. Space for reflection, space for healing, space for the kind of deep contentment that has nothing to do with achievement or acquisition. So as we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to carry something with you. Whether you're heading back to a busy office or a chaotic household or whatever demands are waiting for you in your regular life, remember this feeling. Remember the way your breathing changed when you let yourself imagine that cabin porch. Remember how your shoulders relaxed when you heard those gentle acoustic melodies in your mind. That feeling is always available to you. It doesn't require a plane ticket or a real estate purchase. It just requires the willingness to slow down, to listen deeply, and to honor the part of yourself that craves simplicity and peace and connection to something larger than the immediate chaos of modern life. The cabin is wherever you choose to find it. The acoustic vibes are wherever you choose to hear them. And the dreams, well, the dreams are wherever you have the courage to let them live. Take a deep breath, let it out slowly, and remember that sometimes the most radical thing you can do is simply be still and listen to what your soul has been trying to tell you all along. The music is always there, waiting for you to tune in. The peace is always available, waiting for you to choose it. And the cabin, in all its rustic simplicity and profound tranquility, is always just one deep breath away.